Hey, what's up, guys? This is TBone here. Welcome to our Tuesday stream. Can't believe this, but it's been a week since I last actually streamed for the game. I couldn't actually do it last Thursday, and so I haven't done anything since just I guess now. And so good to see everybody again. And we've got quite a few people already waiting, so thank you very much for bearing with me here. We've got Delancey, House of Hain, Ray, Charlie, and TG Nolia. Welcome to the stream here, and yeah, looking forward to this. Looking forward to this week because we've got a new event deck this time, and it's a they're calling it the triple deck, right? And so this is something I definitely want to spend some time exploring a little bit. But I thought I was gonna do something a little bit different, and I'm gonna start by opening a few tiers in the pack right now. We're going to take a look and see what I get here, because I actually do want to try and showcase it if possible. And we're also going to explore just exactly what these decks, like how this deck would actually work. I took a look at their explanation on their Facebook page. They did try to explain like how you're supposed to use it, and we're going to talk about it a little bit for sure, right? And so don't forget your Head Start pack. That's the first thing. I always forget it, so I made sure I did it this time around. And so we're going to make sure we do that so that you don't miss out on the 50 levels. And we got T. Martinez, Angel, Sylvie, Chimeng On, Naya, and Shantae. Welcome to the stream here. And you got your ultra rare card on the first tier. That is really nice. And Christie, Psychological Warfare. Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we get any luck here. I managed to save about 4,000 gems from the event. And also I went through the silver trial boss and I got a couple of gems. And so that should get me at least tier 3, right? So if we look at it again, so it's 1,000, 2,400, and 4,900 gems. No, 1,000, 24, 49. Yeah, so I'll be able to go to tier 3. So tier 3, and that's all I'm going to be able to afford until I earn some more. So let's go ahead and see what we get, okay? Start out by opening packs as opposed to talking about the cards. A little bit different this time around, but we'll see if this makes any difference here. So this deck is, like I said, it's a new type of mechanic here, and this is the second time in a row where I got the evolution coins on the first tier. And so if you remember the last time I did this, I also pulled, I think I pulled 1,000 evolution coins, so this is actually a little bit worse. So 300 evolution coins to start our pack opening. Not a great start. Not conducive to helping me explain to you how the deck works, right? But I know that we're going to at least get our support card on turn 2. And we get a relic here, Adoring Dory. So that actually happens more often for me than not, where I get the relic. So that's good. So that guarantees me 2 relics for this event. And now let's take a look and see what else we get here. So that's the support card, Eros the Unequaled. Okay, and so let's see. We get 2 keys there, the Venom, and we get a couple of evolution stones, etc. So all of these things are expected. And now we're gonna go and do tier 3. So that's 1,400. I'll be short 500 gems, unfortunately. I'll be short 500 gems to be able to pull tier 4 if I needed it. But let's see if we can get lucky on this tier here. So it doesn't look like we're going to get lucky here because I think this is going to be the relic. Yeah, so I didn't get the Master Collection card or the Ultra Rare card this time around. Nothing for tier 3, unfortunately. I've been getting really lucky the last few events where I pulled some gold cards, and this time around just a bunch of relics and a single card to help us out with the event. Didn't pull any of the things I needed, so it's gonna be a rough event for me, I think, because I also don't have light arcane cards for commander. So 2 relics, that's pretty much all I pulled, and we are short on gems to actually do tier 4, so I'm not gonna be able to do that. And so where does that leave us then? Well, I can at least talk about the cards for you guys. And This is I've taken a look, and I kind of I needed to study a little bit just because it was very wordy and it was very confusing, and so we're gonna have to go through a little bit. I was hoping to be able to showcase it to you guys, but unfortunately I will not be able to. No Love Lost was getting withdrawal symptoms. Well, thank you for waiting there. And more people here. We got John Wilson, Rock D, and Alan. And we got House of Pain. You got the deck in 3 pulls. That's really good. Now, Fillmore, are you telling me to get rid of the evolution coins? And so I think everybody, like I recommended everybody to get rid of evolution coins. Unfortunately, they did not. And unfortunately, that means I got stuck with it myself. Now, I didn't actually craft the hero from the previous event, so I still have my 42 coins. And the reason I didn't do that is because I was not sure if I needed it. I was doing just fine in the Slayer event. I wanted to wait until the end of the event before I decide to actually invest in pulling the previous heroes. And so I'm going to take a look. So I do have 52, right? I have 52 coins right now. I just need about another 30 before I can get this. So we'll see. And Chinita Vice, welcome to the stream here. So let's see. So the cards here, we're going to start with, let's start with the support card. And we'll kind of work our way up, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the support card and understand what they mean by a flexible deck. So the way they advertise this deck is that it's it's a flexible deck that you can sort of do what you need to do depending on the situation. So the support card does the following things. Now, all of these cards will add a stack of triple love. So every single card will add something to the overall stack of this, what they're calling triple love. And the way that triple love works is that they will do something different depending on the card that you use. Something different will happen, and it's the last card that matters. Okay, and so if you take a look here, the support card will add a stack, and you're going to see this across all cards. And what it'll do is it will spawn 1 light gem and it'll heal. Okay, so it does 2 things. It spawns gems and heals for 2,000 recovery, but it does it for every stack of triple love. So that means at the time you activate this card, if you have 1 stack of triple love at the time, then it will spawn 1 gem. If you activate it last, so that there are 5 stacks of triple love, then it will spawn 5 gems and it will heal for 10,000 heal recovery for a single card. So it depends on when you activate, because the stack of triple love is going to be added every time you activate, right? So you start with 1 and then goes up to 5. So then effect will be different depending on when you activate it. You activate it first, you're going to have just the single gem. You activate it last with 5 stacks. Now you've increased the number of gem spawns to 5, and the heal increased to... Oh, thank you so much, Charlie McCarthy, for the subscription. And so that's kind of like how you think about it. There is a 4-turn cooldown though, so I'm not sure I quite like the cooldown rate of this, but that's what this card will do as a support card. And then the passive ability, so every single card has a different passive name. This one's called the Triple Bolt. So once you've activated 3 cards, essentially, like when they say once triple love reaches 3, all that means is you've activated 3 different cards from this event deck. This card will spawn 6 light gems and then additional gems for every 50 arcane killer intensity. So that means the longer your fight goes, the more gems this particular card will spawn. And so remember, if you activated this, last, you're going to spawn 5 gems, but as you're reaching there, when you hit 3 triple love, it will also spawn 6 gems at a time. So that's the passive, okay? Really, really confusing. All that means is this card will passively do something when the triple love reaches the magic number 3. You're going to see this across all the cards. So 3 is a magic number. All the cards will do something, and then what you choose to activate last will give you something a little bit different depending on what you want. And then once you've activated it, at the very next turn, all of it goes back to 0. So the maximum number of stack you're going to be able to get every single turn is going to be 4. Whenever it's available, you can only activate maximum 5 stacks. Okay, so are you guys with me? So that's what it means. So this card is all about gem creation, and it does give you some heal. And then if you take a look at the event card, which is Hera, Queen of Hearts. Now there is actually Hera in the game already. There's actually a Hera. And so they kind of like, gave it a different name. That was also a light commander card, so that's actually really interesting. Let's see. Shah, you wish to have all the event cards on every event. Yeah, I mean, it is a collector's heaven if you can collect everything, right? But I don't have all of the cards, unfortunately. Now, Hera is the event card, and again, you'll see that this card adds triple love, and it also does something when it reaches 3 triple love. So the easiest way to think about this is once you activate 3 different cards, something happens for all of them. Every single card that you own will passively do something. The support card will spawn gems, and the event card will heal for a lot of recovery. It'll heal for 1,000, and then it'll increase its heal for every 100 arcane intensity. So the event card is the healer. The event card heals. The support card creates gems when you hit 3 triple love. But then the battle skill itself, depending on when you activate it, this card will also spawn power gems. So if you activate it first, it's going to create 2 light power gem once. If you activate it at the very, very, assuming you have 5 cards, if you activate it last, then it's going to spawn a total of 10 power gem 2s, because there's 5 and it's 2 multiplied by 5. Okay. And so that's the way you think about it. Passively, this card will heal. And then from a battle skill, this card will create power gem once. Now we take a look at the ultra rare card. And by the way, if you take a look at the what they actually would dispel, the support card dispels Power Gem Silence. So that is something to keep in mind. There is also Power Gem Silence in this game today, in this event that's coming up. So you're going to have to make sure you have something. You do need to equip the support card, because that is one of the cards that will, that is a skill that has more impact. And this is going to dispel Blind. So far we have Power Gem Silence, and Blind. Now let's go on to the ultra rare card. So ultra rare card is Soldier of Love, and this card passively, when you've activated 3 different power skills, it will automatically spawn 2 light power gems, and then for as high intensity as you get, it's going to create unlimited number of power gems at 1 for every 200 intensity. So really high requirement to create these power gems, because 200 intensity isn't easy to get. It takes a while, right? So before, it used to be 100 intensity for additional power gems. Now they've increased it to 200. And so I think that is because they're doing this in conjunction with other cards that can spawn, but it still feels really high to me. Now from the battle skills perspective, this card will increase the attack bonus. And it'll increase by 300 for every stack. So when you activate it first, it will increase attack by 300. When you activate it last, then it'll increase the attack by 1,500%. Okay? And that attack increase will increase as well for the number of stacks. So basically, if you activate it first, then you have 1 turn of 300 attack boost. If you activate it last, then you have 5 turns of 1,500 attack increase. All right, so the ultra rare card is all about attack increase and passively spawning power gems. The support card will actively create gems and passively create more gems. The event card will actively create some power gem ones and passively do heal. All right, so far so good. Now we have the Master Collection card, which is Aphrodite. Now this card, we'll take a look at the passive skill. When the triple love reaches 3, it will dispel debuff. Okay, and then you can increase more debuffs. A debuff counts as like gem silence, power gem silence, weaken. Those things are all what we call debuffs. And once you reach 500 arcane intensity, then it will be able to dispel everything. Okay, but it can only dispel 1 at random for at first, and then it will increase per 100 intensity. So this card is about cleansing And the battle skill will also create power gem 2s for every stack. So the Master Collection card and the event card is similar in that the battle skill creates power gems. The passive skill will cleanse. So every single card does something a little bit different, and you have to really think about what you want to do. So far, so good. All right, I've got let's see. We got some things happening in the chat right here, and so Angel is the deck is making your head hurt. Just listening. Yeah, I know it's really kind of it is really kind of confusing if you don't have it, and this is why like I really wanted this deck, if not to just be able to play with it and to showcase it. So we'll see. Like I really do want to actually try this out because this is one of those decks that we've never seen before, and unfortunately this is also the one time I couldn't pull one card to help me get the next one. So we'll see if I can get some more gems through today, because there's still opportunities for me to earn some gems. I'll see if I can pull the other tiers anyways. And yeah, so we're gonna try to what I'll do is I'll probably send out another video at a later date that will just, list out everything. And so you can sort of understand how this works. Finally, we have the ultimate form. Okay, and the ultimate form is Paragons of Passion. And so what this card will do is passively, when you've activated 3 different cards, it will spawn 2 Power Gem 4s and then additional Power Gems for every 150 arcane intensity. So this one is going to mirror the Ultra Rare card. It's also going to heal, and it's going to also cleanse. So this card has the Master Collection card, the Ultra Rare card, and also the event card skills combined into one. So this single card will cleanse, will heal, and it will create power gems automatically every time you activate 3 of these cards. Okay, and then when you activate this card, it will also heal and increase attack and also spawn power gems. So this card actually is a combination of 3 different cards now. This card, the ultimate form, does what the Master Collection card does. It does what the Ultra Rare card does, and it also does the healing that the support card has. Okay, and so the ultimate form in this case really is, in my opinion, sort of like the best of the entire combination. So it's no longer just a card that mirrors another card, just like a slightly better version of the Master Collection card. This card actually is a combination of everything. All right, and so now if you think about what you want to do, generally if you want to increase your attack, you're going to want to activate your ultimate form last. And I can't see a reason why you wouldn't ever just activate the ultimate form last, because it does everything that all your other cards does anyway, right? And so what you want to do is if you want to increase your attack, then you'll want to activate your ultimate form last, so that you have the increased attack, and it will also create power gems. And then the 4th card that you activate, it could be a difference. You could choose either the Ultra Rare card or the event card. Although I think Ultra Rare card is going to be a better one for you to... sorry, not event card. Master card or Ultra Rare card. I'm thinking that if you want a higher damage boost, you activate your Ultra Rare card 4th. If you want more power gems, then you activate your Master Collection card 4th. So really confusing, but ultimately this one is going to be the deck where people will always ask, what's the best activation order? How do I activate this? When do I do this? I think that heal is probably not going to be the most important thing, so you are not going to activate support card last. I think, depending on your setup, it's going to be support card first, then event card, then Master Collection card, then your Ultra Rare, then your ultimate form. That's going to be, in general, I think, the order that you're going to want to activate in. So whatever deck you get, it's always going to be support card first, then event card, then Master Collection card, then Ultra Rare, and then ultimate form. So depending on how, let's say you have 2 Master Collection cards, 2 Ultra Rares, and then 2 Ultra Rare cards. To get the most damage boost, I think you'll want to do Master Collection card, then the two ultra rares, and then the ultimate form last. The number of power gems is going to make a difference, so you could also do. You might want to tweak a little bit, but that is what I think is going to be the best combination there. Ah, goodness, that was a very that took a long time to explain. So apologies for that. Didn't mean to go on and on at the same screen to talk about it. Not being able to answer the questions here. So we got people from Germany, Timex from Germany, and also, let's see, we got Matthew Cook in the house, and Joseph Scott. This is overly complicated. It is definitely the most complex deck that we've seen so far. I think that it works well in a commander situation where you have control over the speed of how you play. And so the question is always going to come down to whether or not you're going to be able to use this deck for sufficient overkill. All right. And what I would say is I'm not sure at this point, to be honest with you, because there's all kinds of things happening. I'm not even sure if I have figured out the perfect timing just yet. But I think that with all of the attack boosts, right? And what you want to do is, this is probably a deck where you're going to want to build up intensity first. So if you're trying to get like the ultra kill, for example, because I'm just looking, right? There's nothing that will passively do, like, you're not going to have any passive power gem creations or anything unless you've activated 3 cards. And so you could theoretically just continually, build up intensity. And I'm trying to think from the ultra rare card, because it stacks, right? Because the ultra rare card will stack the. Okay, so let's see. Ultra rare card. This is the Master Collection card. So I think the ultra rare card is going to be the one that makes the difference here. So the ultra rare card will increase the attack for every stack. Oh no, it doesn't increase based on intensity. So it only increases by stack. So you definitely want to activate your ultra rare card later. And looking at the ultimate form right now, it also increases the attack for per stack. Okay, so this doesn't matter about intensity in this case. What matters is how many power gems you'll create. And so what you want to do is you want to create as many power gems as you can based on the passive ability. So the passive ability is going to, like, for power gem creation, is going to come from your ultimate form card and your Master Collection card. Okay. All right, I got this. Got this here. All right, Nixie Pixie, welcome here. So the best situation is to have 2 ultra rare cards and 2 Master Collection cards, I think, and the ultimate form, and or 2 Master Collection cards and an event card, ultra rare card, and a ultimate form. But basically what you want to do is, because the passive ability only relies on the passive ability is one that relies on intensity. So what you want to do is you want to place the cards that increase power gem creation earlier. Okay? And so your Master Collection card, your event card, etc., that is going to be the one that you're going to have early, because that depends on intensity. It doesn't matter about your stacks of triple love. What matters about the triple love is your attack boost. So if you want to have the highest amount of boost, you want to activate the card last. And that means activating ultimate form and your ultra rare cards at the very end to maximize your attack boost. And then you do this when your intensity is high enough so that you have also maximum amount of power gems that is passively spawned, plus the the attack boost that you're getting from the triple love. So that's how you sort of combine the two things together. And so it's going to be, I think, if you wanted to take care of the ultra kill boss, for example, then you're going to want to basically do a lot of turns, get as much intensity as you can so that you can create more power gems, and then activate everything in the order I just discussed. And that is going to be the maximum damage output in my current thinking. I'll have to verify that though. Mount Fillmore, are those lazy eyes? Was she going near catatonic after crying? Are you talking about the picture there? I was trying to decide between using her or using using Soldier of Love in the picture. I decided to go with this one because that's the same as in my thumbnail there. Let's see, Christy Cameron, is it worth it to use the tokens for Master Collection or the Ultra Rare if you can get only one, or you should just save them? If you already got the event card and the support card, that's a good question. So if you don't have the Master Collection card, so this is the Ultra Rare card. So the Ultra Rare card will have the passive ability to create power gems. Okay, and what does the Master Collection card do? Does the Master Collection card also passively create... No, so the passive ability of your event card actually will simply... this is tough now. So the Master Collection card passively cleanses. It doesn't passively create. So the Master Collection card will create power gems, right? The maximum number of power gems a single Master Collection card will spawn is 10. If you activate it last, so you spawn 10 power gem 3s, and then the Ultra Rare card though has potential for unlimited number of power gems depending on intensity, because it's the passive spawns it based on intensity. You just need 200 of it. So that means over time your Ultra Rare card is going to be better for you, and it's going to increase your attack. But if you could only get one and you can't get the ultimate form, I feel that you might be better off getting the Ultra Rare card, because after all, it does give you a attack boost. That's just my opinion. But I don't know that I would just get one or the other. This is one of those decks where I feel like you need to kind of get both in order to really take advantage of it. But you really need 3 cards to take advantage of the cards. I guess I'll answer it this way. If you're looking for a quicker fight, like you want less turns to do more damage, then the Master Collection card is going to help you get there. If you want longer battles, that's going to help you create more power gems over time, then the Ultra Rare card is going to be the answer for you. Fernando Martinez, does this deck work for Guild versus Guild? I honestly don't think so, because all of these cards have a 4-turn cooldown. And the only way that these passive abilities will kick off is if you activate the battle skills. And so you're going to have 4 turns of nothing. And during that time, this deck is you're just going to die, because there's nothing in between. You can't spawn gems. It doesn't passively do anything unless the Triple Love reaches 3. So I would say this is not a Guild versus Guild deck. But by all means, please prove me wrong. Like, I don't think it looks like a deck that will work well on its own, right? You could mix it with a Kpop deck if you have it, but the thing is, like, this I don't really know how you would be able to mix it well with the Kpop deck. Like, Kpop kind of does well on its own, to be honest. And Kpop deck doesn't have arcane intensity. And the thing is, like, if you just have one of the cards from the deck, you're never going to reach your passive ability potential. So this is the Kpop deck here, where the ultimate form is Light, Hope, and Justice. And this is a Beast Killer card. So it's not going to work too well. Like, this is sort of here's my now feedback on this particular deck, is that you must have 3 of these cards to really do anything well with it. Because if you think about it, all of these battle skills, the battle skill, the passive ability, all of these are very dependent on the stacks of Triple Love. And so if you have only one card and you mix it into another deck, then you're always only going to have 1 stack at most every 4 turns. And so that means if you have Aphrodite, the Master Collection card, on its own, it will spawn 2 Power Gem 3s. And it will dispel 1 debuff. That's it. That's all it will do for 4 turns. And it doesn't really give you a whole lot. Now, the Ultra Rare card, at least, on its own, it's going to at least give you a 300% killer attack boost. So it will work well in Slayer, for example, light Slayer situations. Like, you can at least increase the attack by 300. And then but that's it. Like you can't extend the duration. You can't give more. And then the passive ability, you can never activate it. So on its own, if you don't have 3 cards, it's going to be really difficult. And so you're definitely going to want to keep 3 of those. And then at that point, I guess you could add in the Kpop for probably one ultra rare card and one ultimate form card for the immunity and then the gem creation to sort of help out there. But it doesn't feel like it's a great deck that mixes well. So this is one of those decks that feel like it's more you're gonna get more out of it if you use the full deck. This is not a deck that actually encourages mix and matching, unfortunately, because no other cards will create that stack of triple love. Now, if other cards also created that stack of triple love, then I think it would have been better. But because it doesn't, this is a more standalone deck on its own, where you get different things, but ultimately, I don't think you're going to favor heals in these situations. Like, I don't think you're ever going to want to activate your event card last. Maybe, like if you're near dying, for example, you may want to do that to heal. But in general, I think that there's enough heals from other cards that you might not need it. 2300, you like the thing, but this deck is excessively hard to understand. Yeah, so I can't even field the team to show you. I have 1 card. I have exactly 1 card. So let me see, right? I have exactly 1 card from this deck to show you, but let's go ahead and take a look at the most recent card. Oh, I actually I didn't realize I got this card. Okay, well at least that means I can get at least get a coin from it. I didn't have this card before, so that's good. So like I would place this card at the very, very beginning. So for me, I usually would either swipe left to right or right to left, so you have to sort of decide. And then just eventually, though, like I don't think the support card's really going to be used, because all it does is it heals a little bit and it creates light gems. Generally, that kind of loses out to the power gem creation because you need it in order to do any sort of damage. So support cards, to me, honestly, they're really just there so that they could add to the stack of triple love, right? So like, let's say you have the ultimate form card, 1 ultra rare card, 1 master collection card, and 1 event card. Let's say you have these 4. Then yes, you do need to put the 5th card, and that's the support card in there, because the support card is going to give you that stack. And you're not using this card for its ability. You're using this card for the fact that it adds a stack of triple love. Because 1 stack of triple love equals to an additional power boost and additional power gems, right? So even if you don't want to use it, I think if you can't field a full team of just event cards, ultra rare card, and master collection card, and ultimate form, like if you don't have enough to field 5 of those, then you'll want to definitely put in the support card. This is one of those decks that encourages you to use the support card, but on the flip side, it kind of discourages you from using other cards from other decks. So that's how I feel about it. Now, as to whether or not I think you should go after it, here's my take on it. As someone who enjoys trying out different mechanics and playing something for the experience of it, I would go after this deck for myself. Just because then I wouldn't be so bored out of my mind when I'm playing with the same mechanics all the time. Do a couple of swipes and then be done with it. Like, this will actually require a little bit of thinking, but I think that it can be a little tedious at times. Although for my personal self, whether or not this is going to be a deck that is going to be really powerful is besides the point. I think if I had the gems, I might go for it, just because it is something that I think will be fun. But I don't know as to the viability of this deck afterwards. The ultimate form kind of does it all. So it's kind of nice that way. Like Paragons of Passion kind of does it all. It does boost attack. So the combination of an ultra rare card plus so like if you think about it, right? Paragons of Passion can boost 400 per stack. So it can boost 2000% if you activate it last. And then if you activate the ultra rare card fourth, right? That's I think 300. Or is it this one 300? 300 times 4, it's 1200. So you can boost your arcane killer by a total of 3200 every 4 turns. So it's it's pretty good in terms of a arcane boost, right? And you can use it in Slayer events for the next Light Slayer arcane event. So like those 2 cards will work well. I just don't know how much damage that's going to translate in this particular commander event. That's the only thing. It could very well be an extremely powerful deck. I don't know. But I think that some of the other cards, let's say you don't want to use all 5 stacks and you're completely okay to do so. Some of the other cards that seem okay to use then would be, let's see. If you have this card, right? So the Untamable Twosome is going to be a good card to use because this card generates power gems all on its own. All it needs is like commander intensity, a skill point. And so you put this card in there, and if you are, excuse me, if you're short on power gems, this card will get you lots of power gems really easily. Okay, I actually put in, remember a while ago I had said, I had this video that talks about the best ultimate forms in my opinion. At the time it was the Devilish Duel, but then afterwards the light version of it came out, the Untamable Twosome, and this card is going to give you that power gem spawn. A single card that mixes in every single deck. This is the one for Light Commander. If you have this card, you should be able to find this in all of your decks because this will create you the necessary power gems to boost everything, right? So let's say you have the event cards, support cards, etc. Let's say you have 3 of them. Great. Throw this card in there. Throw this card in there and use it as the leader so that you can at least boost other non-arcane type cards, and you're gonna get a lot of power gems from this. Okay, so this is the card that you should use. Curators of Pain. That was actually what I listed as one of the worst ultimate forms. I don't really like it. I don't really think that it was an ultimate form that really deserves the title of the ultimate form card. And so what I would say is that, it depends. Because the card is arcane killer bonus, you're going to get more damage output from it. Like an event card, actually, this card right here, Doers, also has the arcane killer skill. So this was the first time that they introduced a event card with the killer bonus, but they didn't do that for a while. So this one spawns up to 6 for power gem 1s. I mean, from an event card perspective, it's okay. It has a huge cooldown at 6 turns, so it's really not very useful. It does deal double the damage, but at least this gives me a coin. And so my take here is this event deck, if you're not really into the experimentation, if you're not really into a deck that seems to be too complicated and doesn't feel like it could be super powerful, I would hold off. I would wait, and I would wait until other people, hopefully myself, tell you whether this is a good deck or not. I couldn't do it today because I don't have the gems to pull it, but I do actually want to have this deck just so I can try it out. Just so I can see if this is a deck worth using. I don't even have the event card to show you, right? So I think somebody said that you have the event card at least. So like event card is a weaker version of the Master Collection card, but the very different thing is that it doesn't cleanse. So it doesn't cleanse, it does heal. But it has a capability of creating up to 10 power gem 1s, which in the grand scheme of things is okay, but it's really lackluster when you compare it to this card, for example. Which one is it? Where did he go? This card, right? So the Inglorious Outlaw, for example, on his own can create 27. Oh, that's the Master Collection card. But the event card can Walker Shielding Sheriff can create up to 22 light power gem 1s. Okay, and so if you compare event card to event card, this card, with the exception that it doesn't actually have the killer bonus, this card does pretty well. All right, and so not a deck that I would highly recommend. Although it sounds fun. It sounds fun, but it doesn't seem like a deck that would be, how would I say this? I think you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. That's kind of how I feel. I'm not sure that people are going to kind of say, eh. Like, I don't think they're going to find it sort of like halfway, me sort of like, halfway in the middle. I think it's going to generate more reactions. People who do get a deck, they'll either really really enjoy it or they're going to be really frustrated by the deck because it's just hard to understand. But I think if you play with it a little bit, it seems like it shouldn't be too bad. All you have to make sure is you need at least 3 cards from the deck to actually do anything with it, and always activate your ultimate form last. That's pretty much how I think about it. So let's see, Steven, you want 5 in cards, 4 at least. Yeah, you definitely want all 5 in this case. And you're going to wait for the next update, save your gems, and start fresh. That sounds good too. Mount Fillmore, why does the Arrows card art remind you so much of Gawain's? Let's take a look. This card right here, Sir. But I'm not sure it looks that similar, right? So that one is an Earth Commander deck. Let's take a quick look here. I just want to see what you're talking about, right? So Gawain is... I guess you're right. It's a very similar pose. It could be from the same same template. So Mudpick, Hera is guaranteed at tier 4, which I am unfortunately short on gems for. So I can't actually get my 4th tier because of the price. And so some of my options here are, I could actually, I do want to save 1,000 gems for the historical vault that's coming out tomorrow. Everybody should consider getting tier 2, like 2 tiers, because you get 6 coins from that. In my opinion, 1,000 gems for 6 coins is tremendous value because of what it could mean for your cards. But at the same time, we're now into the second last event, so this is also a good time to remind you, don't overdo it with your coins, because any additional coins you get over the 42 coin threshold is going to be wasted. So you either want to aim for 42 or 84. If you're at 42 and you can't get higher, then I wouldn't spend any more gems to buy more tiers. Does that make sense? Because if at the end of the events at the season, they haven't come out with any updates on whether or not the additional coins that you're going to lose at the end of the season, they haven't told us anything about what we can do with them. So I'm taking an approach of, we're either going to use them or lose them. And so if you can't get your coins to multiples of 42, then you might want to save your gems so that you don't pull more, like from the historical vault. Like, I only do it from the historical vault because I calculated that if I pulled every single turn, tier 2 every single event, I could actually get more. At this point, I am, I'm going to have 53, right? And I'll have 59, so I'll be, 60, 24, I'll be 25 coins short. So 25 coins is, I think, manageable for the next event for me. And so I'm going to push through with it, but you have to be careful. You have to start calculating the number of coins you get. So let's see. Chroma Sucks, welcome to the stream here. Alan, if you don't get 3 cards from the deck, would it be useful, like, would you use something like Untamable Twosome Deck even though you don't get the killer bonus? So even if you don't get 3 cards from the deck, I would still recommend that you put in there. But what you'll want to do is you'll want to do something like this. What you'll want to do is you'll want to set it up so that your Untamable Twosome is going to be your lead card. Did my phone just crash? So you'll want to make it so that it's like this, right? So you use your Untamable Twosome as a lead card, and fill out with other cards so that at least it powers up the rest of your cards, but your event cards will still have 400% killer bonus. So it's still going to deal more damage than your other cards. So you're still going to get, you don't want to, you don't want to just not use them. You still want to use them if you can. Event card will be ideal, and then support card if you need to. It's just, if you don't have 3 cards, then you're not really going to be getting any benefit out of it at all. So Delancey, it is a good deck. Will give lots of killer bonus and get lots of gems. If you're referring to this deck, I don't know. I think if you get the full deck, if you have the full deck, with intensity, yes, and also if you activate your ultimate form last, you're gonna get 10 power gems right there, plus any of your relics and etc. And then the passive abilities. I think you're gonna get enough, right? So I think it'll be powerful enough. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to come with the deck. It's just that the mechanics is a little bit new, so it's a little bit hard to theorize there. Malfamor, there's a real gamble on whether the next event deck will be worth using coins to craft. Yes, I don't know. So like, it's worth just waiting on. Like for me, I kind of wanted to wait until the next event as well, because what happens is if you reach the end of the event, my plan is I'm going to come out also with my recommendations for, hey, if you've got coins to use, which of these cards should you go after if you haven't gotten anything but you have enough cards to craft something? Which of these cards should you go for? Without seeing the last event deck, I won't be able to say anything. So I'm waiting for the next event deck to come out before I give my recommendations as well. So I think that given that I can't really do anything with it, I'm gonna go with my with this deck right here, mixed in with maybe 2 support cards. If I can get my event card, then I'll like from the collection. Like if I get it from a trophy collection, then I'll use it. So at least I'll have something there. But it's unlikely a deck that I'll be able to obtain this particular event. So I will wait until next event, see if I can get up to 84 coins, and then I will make a recommendation on what ultimate form you should go after. Because I think there are some really good decks, and there's some that are in between. And so we've seen a really, really good one so far for that, in the last 2 events. This one is kind of interesting. I'm waiting to see what other people have, and then we'll see what happens in the Fire Slayer event. Steven Kantorowicz, in the High Tide banner, you can buy any card from this season in Ultimate Tap. That's correct. And so that's what I was referring to, right? Like you don't need to get this right now, but if you wait until near the end of season, or at least until after this event is over, then you can make a decision. You can sort of make a decision on which one do you want to go with. Do you want to go with the current event deck, or do you want to actually purchase any of the older heroes? The thing about purchasing older heroes is that the killer skill isn't going to come around for a while, and so you're not going to use a ton of it. But at the very minimum, it's something that can be useful next time it comes around. So these are the 4 that are available right now. And for me, like if you need an ultimate form, like this one right here is really good for guild versus guild. But the other deck right here, this Earth one, if you have more than 1 ultra rare card, this would be an amazing deck as well. But only if you can get more than 1 ultra rare card. This is a deck that has more ultra rare requirement than this deck, actually, in my opinion. So BBX, they should give me an account to play show the whole deck just for my videos. That I've been asking if it's possible for me to get a I want to be able to showcase it, because it's really difficult to showcase something when I can't afford it. Right? I want to be able to say, hey, this deck, this is how you use it, this is how it works, this is the best combination, is it worth it, is it not worth it, all that kind of stuff. Like I'll continue to see if that's possible. But to me right now, based on what I see, I think that if you have the coins and you want to get something, you don't have any light, if you have anything for light commander and you want to do well, I don't think you can do wrong. I don't honestly think you can do wrong with any of these decks that they've come out with this so far. But I don't believe this is a guild versus guild killer deck. I think that this will be a deck that can work well in the event itself, because you have a 4-turn cooldown, right? It's really the 4-turn cooldown that makes it hard, and it has a requirement on having all of these decks being activated before you can do anything. And so that cooldown right there, I think, kills it for guild versus guild. Mudpig, the Dark Commander is not only a great guild versus guild deck, but it's awesome for all the frenzy bosses. Yeah, it worked out well as well. And so that was definitely it's also a fun deck to use. You can see all these power gems spawning. This Earth one right here, with more making you cards you have, the more power gems you get every single turn. So this is super powerful as well. But again, like I said, it depends on ultra rare cards. So like let's say you have the full deck already, right? and you might even have 2 ultra rare cards in here. You might even want to get a third one, to be honest with you. Like if you have additional coins, like this is a deck that benefits from having more ultra rares for sure. So those are the 2 most powerful ones right now. Malfilmore, can I read the warning for the Head Start store? Why? What's going on? Did they update the warning there? Something's going on with my phone here. It's loading really slow. Okay, so the Head Start store here, the Head Start pack. Warning, enemies have been enraged due to the ultimate evil. Claiming a head start may imperil you to difficult challenges. What? Available 24 hours only. Each offer can only be claimed once. I think this is just a poor way of saying if you don't have a strong deck, you're gonna jump 50 levels and it might be too difficult for you. Like this only applies if you're starting. I wouldn't actually worry about that particular warning there. Mad Mouse, is it worth it to craft Kill Drone Ultimate Form if you can't get this deck? I would say no, for the following reason. So, the Ultimate Form itself is... Okay, let me take that back. You are talking about using the Proving Ground tokens, right? So if you have the Proving Ground tokens, the Ultimate Form card is going to give you a 400% boost, which, yes, will boost K-pop and Cowboys. But then the reason I'm hesitating here, my opinion is that after next event, the Proving Ground store is going to be refreshed. So if you look at the Proving Ground stores, if you look at the cards, we are basically at the second last card that's available. If you look at the store, so what's available in the ultra rare card and the master collection card options you have, we are on the second last one before the Fire Kitties deck. And so the Kill Drone, like this Ultimate Form is really not that great. It just doesn't feel that great. And so what it will do is it will give 400% damage to all light commander heroes. So that means your excuse me, your Cowboys and your K-pop will deal a little bit more damage. But I just feel like if you had the ability to craft the Fire Kitties, I almost would rather that one. If this was the last event, I would say go for it, right? Because the store, I think, is going to be refreshed, and so you're gonna be able to craft it anyway. But since there is still one more, I'm just conflicted at telling you that you should go for it, just because I personally wouldn't. I personally just feel like I would never use that. However, depends on your situation. You have nothing else, you can't really do anything, and if you feel that K-pop and Cowboys is just not doing it for you, you're just not getting enough damage, then go for it. If you're not getting any damage and you're not using event deck, then you're losing on 4 times damage. Then I would say go for the Kill Drone Ultimate Form so that you could actually boost your Cowboys and your K-pop, depending on which one you want to go for, so you can at least get some additional damage into it. That would be my recommendation, but it's not something that I would say it's not something I'm very enthusiastic about. Let's put it that way. So the question here is, like, they haven't changed the store in 3 cycles. Do I really think that they'll update the cards? The reason why I think that they're going to recycle is after next event is because then this will be in line, right? So this will actually be in line with when they come up with the cycle afterwards. So there's a high chance that maybe they won't. But honestly, like, if you think about sort of like what they've done, right? They've made this so that each of these seasons you're going to get 10 events or 5 events in the season, and like the way that the cycles have been going, we're sort of reaching the end of when these cards are going to be useful. It makes sense that they're going to refresh it to the next cycle of cards, next round. Of course, there is a high chance that maybe that's not the case, right? So maybe that's not the case, but that's just my personal theory that they might actually use it. And it's just that this also times out in 12 days. So in 12 days, you're going to have to use it regardless. And so if you choose not to use it for the Kill Drone Ultimate form, you have to get the Fire Kitty one no matter what. And so Mad Mouse, if you cannot get the Fire Kitty Ultimate form anyway, like if you don't have one of those two cards, so it doesn't really matter for you anyway, then I would say just go for it, because the at the end of 12 days, you're not going to be able to use that coin anyway. So you might as well use it up. And so it all comes down to a matter of your situation. If you have no option for the Fire deck, then yes, get the Kill Drone Ultimate form. If you do have an option for the Fire Kitty deck, then I would wait, try it out, see how things go, and then decide if you want to try that. So Fire Arcane is also in that season. So everyone, one more deck is coming to craft coins. Yeah, so that's one more reason to sort of wait. I think the Fire Kitty was it Arcane? I don't know if that's Arcane though. Could be Arcane. Yeah, it matches, right? So it's actually it actually works out pretty well. That's the reason why I think that it will make sense for them to update, because then afterwards we're going to start out with another Water Slayer event, and it's not going to be Chaotic Killer. It's going to be something else that they're going to do. I can't remember. I think it's going to be Immortal, right? So I would expect the next cycle we're going to see the Timeless Lovers cards being available because of the Immortal Killer for Water Slayers. Nathan Vogel, hello. Steven, you sent me a friend request in the game this last Slayer event. You actually saw and got in one of the bosses. Oh, really? I'm not as good about accepting friend requests here, so apologies for that. I will take a look and I will go ahead and accept. Mad Mouse, you can't buy 2 cards next season. No, you can't. You can only buy 1, right? So that's why I'm saying that I think potentially that this store might be refreshed, and if it refreshes, then you're not going to be able to use this ultimate. You're not going to be able to get this ultimate form afterwards anyway. So it's completely up to you. I just think that I wouldn't do it right now before the event starts. I will wait for the event to start, and then try it. And it's not your favorite. It's not mine. It's rated as one of the worst ones in my opinion, so it's definitely not something that I would want to. And yes, BBX, you're right, at some point it is going to be available in the gem store as well. And so I guess what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just summarize everything here. I think I've talked about this to death here. This deck right here I think has the potential to do well in the event itself, but I don't believe it's a guild versus guild deck by any means. I think that it's not a great deck to synergize with others, so that is a sort of a downer for me, although the mechanics that's introduced here seems pretty interesting. And I will definitely come up with a video to explain when you should activate, so I'll have a summarized view of how you should think about this and when you should do it. But in general, I would hold off on chasing this deck before the event actually starts. If you have the Untamable Twosome, or if you have the Kpop deck, then those are 2 good options to go for. Even though you don't get the killer bonus, I think they can still get the job done. But this definitely isn't one that I would say is a must-get deck for me personally. Until I've seen it in action, I can't really say otherwise. But at this point right now, doesn't feel like a must-get for me. Casey Freeman, I may have answered the question by end of season. You have 84 choice. Can I purchase? Correct. Yes, you can. You can choose anyone that you want. And I'm going to have another video later on near the end of the season on which one I would recommend, because that's something I don't think everybody will understand. And so I'm going to give my take on what you should do. Okay. And so that's going to be my recap here. So, let me know what you think. If you did get the deck, I would love to hear from you on what you think the deck is like and what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Love to hear your thoughts. Love to get your feedback on this, because this is the one deck that I don't have anything. I only have 1 support card so far to show for it, so I can't do anything with it at this point. But I will see what I can do about obtaining the deck a little bit later. If nothing else, I want to try and work out a way to actually showcase how this deck actually works. So that would be my goal for the next video. Okay. And so let's see. I think we're getting some recruiting messages as well. So if you guys are looking for guild, there's some messages in here that tells you where to go. Okay. And so yeah, so map mouse, wait on it. If you need it, then go for it. I would save your coins for now so you can decide. Cool. All right, so that's going to be it for me for today. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about this particular session. I know that I had a week in between, so I do apologize not getting in more information to you guys in between. But, you know, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what are some of the other things that you would like to see more of. Like, how you enjoying this format? What are some of the things that you would change about this? What are things that you're looking for but you're not really getting out of these sessions? Let me know so that I can, you know, I could incorporate the feedback into what I do with these videos. And as long as I'm not streaming that mom chess, you've resisted playing that one so far. All right. So I will continue to, you know, put most of my other content on Twitch. So Twitch is where I play other games, and I will continue to sort of stream there because that's where I basically just kind of get on, play, do other things, and not worry about storing the video for YouTube. I'm going to try and reserve this channel for updates that help, you know, with content for this game here. But I will probably still sneak one or two there. So anyways, that's going to be it from me for today. Thank you very much for all of your support, guys. I will see you in the upcoming stream, and definitely look for a video to explain how this deck works in one way or another. I'm going to talk about how this will work. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care. I'll see you next time.